contrived corridors and issues, deceives with whispering ambitions, guides us by land. So you speak about history. How much trust we can have on history? We, no doubt, serve as a vital part of social, cultural, and historical legacy, and is preserved through oral storytelling tradition or written mythological literatures. It is indeed a collective experience, and a collective experience is more important than the experience a historian writes the books of history. It acts as the dream of the whole people, organizing experiences, shaping cultural values, and pointing towards shared transformation. Rather than being a fabricated lie, a myth is a living structure that persists across generations, evolving while retaining its core pattern. To my mind, myth includes all kinds of realities: social, cultural, political, and even psychological reality. Yesterday, one of the delegates was telling about myth that it is an extended reality. And I agree that it is an extended reality. So, as I have already told you that if reflects such as society and cultural narratives, if they are dropped, it would have served the purpose. But I think that the organizers thought that it must be made more comprehensive. It must be made clear to the research scholars, and that's why there was a compulsion to add these words, these flags, social and society and cultural narrative. It is interesting to know how myth has been reinterpreted in Indian literature. Long back, I read a poem which was by Maithili Sharan Gupta, and the name of the poem was Sakhi ve mujhse kar lagna. Wonderful poem, how it has been reinterpreted. So reinterpretation had such profit. वो कहती है यशोधरा की यदि शायद मुझसे कहते कि मैं जा रहा हूं ज्ञान की खोज में, तो शायद वो अनुमति देगी। ये कौन सी बड़ी बात? तो यशोधरा का भी पक्ष रखा गया, और इस तरह हम क्या करते हैं, अपने मिथ्स को जीते हैं। हमारे मिथ्स हमें याद रहते हैं, इसीलिए इसका मेन टॉपिक पे आ रहा है, मेन टॉपिक पर आ जाइए और बस आइए। दो चार बातें मैं करूँगी। Similarly, in modern times, the character of Sita has been presented in different hues and colors. Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni, in her book Sitayan, or the Forest of Enchantment, had presented the whole Ramayana through the lens of Sita had been presented as a bold character with feministic tones. The Telugu woman writer Golga had examined the character of Sita with profundity in her book, The Liberation of Sita. Devadatta Patnaik has analyzed the character of Sita through modern lens in his book Sita, and illustrated retelling of the Ramayana. The poetess Torudatta has offered a very moving and poignant account of Sita's struggle and sacrifice in her poem Sita, which has been taken from ancient ballads and legends of Hindustan. Now, as the time is very short, I will also cut short everything. I don't know whether to your pleasure or to your displeasure, but I come to the main point now. As I have my paper is related to Karnataka, Communist Party and Sasi Tharoor, so a few lines about them that I have got it down. In Jajati, Karnataka Jajati, Karnataka retells the Mahabharata episode of King Jayati, first with premature old age, unlike Kuntati, which valorizes filial sacrifice. Karnataka foregrounds Jayati's selfishness. Jayati declares, I am not prepared to give up the pleasures of life. I will not accept gold. This stark refusal exposes the patriarch's moral ambiguity. The play critiques generational exploitation, showing how myths can interrogate the influence hierarchy. In Havodan, Karnataka adapts the tale of the horse-headed man. The protagonist laments, I am neither man nor beast. I am incomplete. Just like I am Gandhi, I am not Gandhi. Identity crisis, fractured identity. This type of incompleteness dramatizes existential dilemmas in contemporary society. By blending myth with folk theatre, Karnataka creates a layered narrative where myth becomes a mirror for modern reality. Then Amish Tripathi coming to, I told you very, Amish Tripathi in Shiva trials, he humanizes Lord Shiva. Shiva reflects. A man becomes a Mahadev because of his karma, not his birth. By grounding divinity in human struggle, Tripathi democratizes mythology. In Shiva, God, passionate and heroic, a figure accessible to modern thinkers. Then in Ramchandra series, Tripathi retells the Ramayana from multiple perspectives. Ram insists a leader must follow Dharma. even when it breaks his heart. By presenting Ravana as a complex anti-hero, Tripathi challenges simplistic binaries of good and evil. Then coming to Shashi Tharoor, the great Indian novelist, in this novel, Tharoor retells the Mahabharata as an allegory of Indian Dhritarashtra, the blind king, becomes a metaphor for political blindness. They cannot see what is going on in the world. They have kept their eyes closed. The world is falling. So, Dhritarashtra becomes a metaphor for political blindness. I was born blind and remained blind to the needs of my people. So many Dhritarashtra. This satire critiques authoritarianism and democratic views. Tharoor blends myth with historical events, the independence movement, partition and emergency. For example, Draupadi disrobing is reimagined as India's humiliation during colonial rule. The nation was a script. Draupadi was a script. The nation was a script. While its leaders just seeing, just watching. This witty, ironic style exposes the absurdities of governance and now I relieve you of my whatever I have said, now you are free. You are relieved of my burden. Thank you.
सिद्धि हेतु स्वामी के यह गौरव की बात पर चोरी चोरी गए यही बड़ा व्याख्यान सखी मुझसे करके जाते हैं. Thank you very much, sir, for such a nice celebration, and it was an informative session for all of us. We enjoyed also, and we learned also a lot. Thank you very much. Now, I like to invite Dr. Dharmraj Kumar for proposing the vote of thanks. But before that, I was reminded of one context when N. Krishna Swami, the professor of CFL, he was asked, when you talk to the Britishers, you use your own style of English. Why don't you use Aaphi English? He said, he replied to the professor that Britishers have to tune their ears according to my style of speaking. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for speaking on vernacularization of English. Thank you.
About as he said about my English, once I was the member of NAC peer and I visited Odisha. I had my companion live in that village in Bengal. He was from Karnataka. And I was speaking English in my own accent. And Bihar is a Spain. And I am not even assembled. Because this is the geographical element which decides or which defines your accent. So he said, why are you speaking like that? You are a professor of English. It doesn't suit you. I was just listening calmly, fully. Then when it was started. I then became typical Bihari when I started. Why you people pronounce this what is this? Why you pronounce? This is our tongue. Then I said, this is our tongue also. You should respect others' tongue unless you will be also demoralized like that one. You say, this is, what is this is? This is not the pronunciation. This should be is. You say, who are there? What who are there? What is this? So you should also pronounce in soft way. So he said, because mine is a spicy state. We eat too much of a spice. Then I said, Bengalis, they eat too much of Rasgulla. That's why they speak bol. They would pronounce Mamata, not Mamata. And in the same way, we eat too much of Sattu. So we pronounce it strictly. And you should not say anything about it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for such a humorous thought. Now I invite Dr. Ravinath Kumar to propose the vote of thanks.
As per the motto of this session, that brevity is the soul of wit, defying this proverb phrase, I would like to say that when you are tasked with the responsibility of giving vote of thanks to the luminaries of kinds who are present on the stage, and especially like Professor Madhur Kumar, they becomes Shakespeare appears as at times as smaller. Brevity cannot be the soul of wit every time. So before I officially thank Professor Madhur Kumar, our senior most colleagues in the University Department of English, I share my opinion with all of you confidently that until we have professors and administrators like Professor Mamta Rani ma'am, Muzaffarpur is in safe hands. Because even in personal conversation, my experience is that man truly believes that there should be a clear difference between when you sit on the chair of power and when you sit on the chair of academics. When she is the principal, she allows the dissent voices, which today are becoming rare, to be spoken out from her stage, from wherever she is present. And when she is sitting on the chair of the academics in the department as faculty members, as one of the faculty members, she herself begins to offer critiques which at times appear very difficult even for those people who are traditionally known to be critical of our ideas. So I really thank Professor Mamta Rani ma'am. I am very thankful also to our HOD, Professor Dr. Anita Singh ma'am, head of the Department of University Department of English, Bihari University, Muzaffarpur. So this is, and of course, while recalling the beautiful presence of Professor Tribhuvan Kumar from Saudi Arabia, hoping that Arabia has not come here, Muzaffarpur will also reach to Arabia when he goes back to his place. Now, coming point-wise giving vote of thanks, I do not know officially the tradition of what has happened here, how do they give vote of thanks, but while given vote of thanks are also required to be summed up. So I heard Professor Madhur Kumar's lecture very carefully because as a surprise it was told to me that I have to present vote of thanks. So I noted down that there are 9 important points. First point was that he stressed on the art of listening. Then he thanked the organizer. Then he chose to speak on myth and not especially focusing on society and cultural narratives, hinting that myth is a very big domain. It cannot be discussed simultaneously with other topics. Then he stressed on the need of linguistics, especially with reference to pronunciation at the time where Englishes are in discourse today. He wrote that how translation can change the literary text into a text and can also can travel through the force through the help of translation. He referred about they have been taken out of the syllabi because we are somehow lacking courage to deal with those mythical reinterpretations. Then Professor Madhur sir, last and the least, summing up